Thank you so much for joining us. Another amazing, beautiful day, and welcome to Updated Precious. It always suits my belly to bring on the matter them with the hot for inside the country. You get what I just talk off the camera now with my guest. He say, I go explain that into now when he join us, but make I just run you through some kind of headlines and we do right now. As it be say, even like say Yawa don't gas, because as it be like this now, Nigerians they don't come together, troop into INEC office, say all of us join together, we won't make sure say we'll begin to form coalition against President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because over 91 coalition groups now don't go to INEC, made them for fit register as they gather to team up to make sure say them gather to comot President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. INEC Chairman, as he get to do with INEC now, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu don't look as if like say Yakubu no go give him what he wants for 2027, so he don't the shop for new INEC head to use replace Makmood Yakubu. Reps don't move to comot all immunity them from vice presidents and governors and deputy governors of their of every state. So that one, some people saying a very lot development. And then President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is about to fulfill his long life ambition by turning the 37 LCDAs for inside Lagos State to local government areas. People go say, they wait for this one since time don't reach because Obasanjo deny him of this favor. Senator Wabwen, you don't threaten Senator Wabwen, you don't threaten Senator Natasha Akpoti over sexual harassment allegations against Akpab. They say, it's high time we come hard on her. We must come hard on her. Yobe government don't talk. Nothing they happen at all. Oh. Say this vacation a bit quick notice where we say Boko Haram give them. Say nothing they happen, nothing they shake at all. But meanwhile, people don't they complain for inside North. Say Boko Haram they defeat Nigerian army for inside Borno State because they burn their camp, they destroy things anyhow for inside that place. And a very sad news today: 25-year-old don't kill himself for inside Osun State because of how hard the economy there and hard things. Nigeria, as it gets to do with Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, they talk say Nnamdi Kanu apology, saying a major turning point for inside this in matter where they courts like this. Landing cost of petrol don't increase to 885 naira per liter. That means fuel price go soon go up again. All this and more to read and now will carry on give you today. But joining me in the studio now, Dr. Deji of Mashallah, Dr. Deji. Dr. Deji, now Doctor of Political Science. That means if he call it, in go school, study politics. So he can't go get PhD inside politics. Can't add science inside that. Easy. Even if you think say it easy, if that being said, they don't small, it explode, they don't. It done quick. That's what they appreciate you. Thank you so much for obliging me, for making out time to honor me in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you so much.
Always a delight to be with you. And I have to thank you too for always bringing this to Nigerians. You're doing a very great job, a very brilliant job, and I'm so very impressed.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Dr. Did you they tell me off camera when you talk, say my mama suffer bomb me, my mama do this, so my mama do that one. Then somebody will call say I'm the precious mama. Wait till be that. Wait till be that say
this now your mama be this whole song, that is trending. And when I saw the song, I had to reminisce. And I'm being serious about this. And I look forward to the perspective of your viewers in the comment section. Some of them will testify to this. African mothers pass through a whole lot to train their children with little or no support from the Nigerian government. I've said it before, and I will still say it since when I've been born, and now that I'm going old, that the law does not change and it will not change. I have never benefited 5,000 naira from Nigerian government.
Hell, you want 5,000? Me, still wait for 1,000.
5,000 naira from Nigerian government. 5,000 naira. I've never benefited. Any something of 5. Say, okay, this thing worth 5,000 naira. I've never benefited from Nigerian government. I know, our viewers know what their mothers went through to train them. Our mothers passed through a lot, especially some fathers are not supportive. So the mothers passed through a lot to train their children, and send your reporters out. You would see women that are, roasting yam, women that are selling ice water, women that are selling
their children for back,
carry their children for back just because, so that their children can feed food. And now, let me use that as an example. my viewers, you the see pressure.
Dr. Deji, you know go count this time. You know go count this time for me. Dr. Deji, you know go count this time for me. This time, no look our time.
Precious, let me warn you.
Bonus mark. Bonus mark.
No, Precious, let me warn you. Mind the way you smile. Wait, let me report yourself to yourself. Mind the way you smile, because now me and you there in front of camera, now only you people go they do. You know Nigerians don't joke with beautiful girls. I hope Akpabio is not watching.
Stop it. I don't like it.
I hope Akpabio is not on this live stream.
I tell you, they don't tell Natasha say no, she be one of the finest girls from inside Nigeria.
But I'm still coming to that. That senator should provide his wife. I dare him to provide his wife. See, there are different beauty. There are some natural beauty. There are some people that when you see them, when you see them, you know they are beautiful. You know that even with the stress, even with the poverty, you know that this one, there's a beauty attached to it. You know, just give her peace of mind. Just give her money. You know, she'll find. There are some beauty that when you see them, you'll be like, this one is neither here nor there. This one, the beauty not today. But if you use money pan a bit and give them peace of mind, you know, holiday in Paris and all that, maybe the beauty go feel conde, you know, radiate. But there are some that the beauty is not there. If you like pan a bit it, if you like, you know, do it anyhow. The beauty. So same also for men. The handsomeness is not there. You know, your brother Obasanjo is an example. Or Shomole, you know, without his head, like, you know, like family tree, is not there. You know, the handsomeness is all there with all the money.
Your brother T, fine. Your brother T, a very handsome man.
Which brother is that?
Your brother T. I don't go call the full name. Your brother T, a
fine
man.
Name. Eh?
Your brother T, a fine man. As they call us, your brother T, a very fine man.
I can't remember the T.
Where they in charge, a fine man. Leave me. If you know green Oliver. Leave me.
Your guy, Tinubu. Your guy. You know say, as they rule Nigeria, you don't know say you get president. Your brain no pick. Then they call your president. See, now you don't call brother T like 68. I don't remember say any T they relevant for my life. Which T? I see the T say which T be that to which T? In fact, when you say T now, Lipton, my mind they go. You know, my mind they go Lipton, all those kind of beverage, you know, Milo. I don't remember say Tinubu.
That's what they remember for inside our analysis, Jerry.
I don't remember Tinubu. Why? Waiting I do you. Now back to what I was saying, you know, as regards the now your mama be this or something, that song. Let me use you as an example. Now, Mama Precious carried Precious for 9 months. Shout out to Mom, a great woman. She's the one that's giving up the opportunity to be enjoying the privilege of seeing a beautiful girl, at least at this time. After this show, we see beautiful girls, but right now Precious they in charge, courtesy of Mommy. So shout out to Mommy. Yeah. We see,
they whine like this.
See, all of us that are watching your TV, we go invade Mommy's house one day for Thanksgiving just to thank her. So
go
now
ahead.
you see that Mommy carried Precious 9 months, the pain, delivery, God saw her through. She knew what she faced, woke up midnight, you know, the day Precious will cry all night, you know, and I believe if I see Mommy today, she's going to give me
very peaceful baby. I was very
how you cry, of how you cry per seconds, you know, you know, of how you suck her breast, like, you know. So now, no, which pikin know the suck breast? I've not said anything bad. I've not said anything bad. No, I'm speaking about the call of nature. Which child doesn't suck breast?
You don't spend 10 minutes. We'll get to enter inside that conversation.
I'm not spending 10 minutes. I'm saying the reality. And you going to school, graduate, you know, Mommy has trained you. You've turned out to be a great woman in your own right. And Mommy is still training you spiritually with her word of advice, her wisdom, and knowledge, and understanding as an elderly person. She's still training you. And somebody will now leave all that. The people that have been in charge of the leadership of this country for over the years, that have been in power, I've been seeing the picture of Tinubu since the days of Abacha, since the days of MKO Abiola. So he has always been among the leadership folk. It's just that, you know, he was graduating gradually. Now, there are some people that you see around Tinubu. It is in the next 10, 15 years that some of them will now emerge to become the real big boys. And somebody will now rub off all what mommy have done because Precious decide to go to a program and the first lady has the opportunity to attend. Then somebody will now be saying, now our mama be this, to now make matters worse. What an insult. You know, you now want to kill all the mothers. We don't get another one. So you know, you didn't even say, oh, now our second mommy be this, oh, now our alternate
will not get
mommy
another
be
one.
this. Or
Now
our national
our biological mothers.
Yes, or now our national mommy be this. You understand? Or now our presidential mommy be this. You just say now our mama be this. We no get another one. So you want to kill all the mothers, right? In a school, if I can go further, in a school whereby I can say that apparently since Bola Ahmed Tinubu became president, they have increased the school fees of that school. They have increased the fees of that school. Most of those students there, they have been biting by economic hardship. Some of them have not paid their school fees. Some of them don't know how they will graduate. Some of them are doing extracurricular jobs, you know, to kind of like, you know, survive. And at the end of the day, you now want to throw the, you now want to mock those students to their face. You now want to, because their parent is not the first lady, because their mother is poor. See, there are some things that you must read the mood of the nation. The parent of this child have been affected. In fact, to tell you the truth, while I was in the university for my BSc, here, you know, I can tell you that there are people that they do a lot of things to just make sure that they survive and they rugged to graduate. What I can say is, if it were to be now, I'm not sure that those kind of people will have the opportunity to graduate, in the sense that if you look at the school fees now and the reality of the economy, while I was in the uni, I think the school fees were about maybe 10,000 or so, 10,000. Now, if the school fees, I think, is about 200,000 or thereabout, how easy is it for you to get 200,000? Looking at the feeding and everything, you know, you get complaints every day from people. So at that point in time, you cannot say that now mama be, and as an academic, I just hope that their lecturers, you know, some of them are not more qualified than me. I hope that their lecturer will not be stupid. And I'm serious about it. I hope they will not be mad. I just hope that, sorry, ma, just a moment. I just hope that, I need to say this. I just hope that they will not be mad to victimize those children just because they want to please one Remi Tinubu somewhere. No, this is a democracy. This is freedom of speech. You have thrown it to them. And they are saying, no, we know our mother. Now your own mama, now you don't get mama. MC, now you be orphan. We know our mother. You know, so it is a democracy. I just hope that they will not victimize those children just because they want to please one power at the top that is not affecting their life in any way or manner whatsoever. So it just shows it is more of a public referendum. And I think that, does the presidency needs to be concerned? Of course, yes. Does Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to be concerned? Absolutely. Because if you look at the Tinubu presidency, prominent people in the presidency now, you know, are receiving one backlash or the other. Sheyi Tinubu is receiving his own for saying, oh, your father, our father, you know, he come like say we don't even get period. Which kind of thing be this? We don't even fit get period again. You know, they intimidate our parents.
They call the president our father. They come here.
This one go come and say, you know, your father, our father. You know, another one go come. You say, now our mama be this. What kind of nonsense?
Thank you, Dr. Deji. All right. So for those who may not know exactly what Dr. Deji is talking about, now about a video we go viral yesterday as the students of Delta State School of Nursing and Midwifery for Asaba, they try to their MC.
Everybody knows this. Don't introduce this story. Everybody knows this story.
So their MC, they try to force them to agree that they get new mother. All of them say, "Na your own mama, na be that." Make a play in that video.
They now went to
we not get another one. Oluremi Tinubu, Mama Nigeria. Now our mama be this, we not get another one. Now our mama be this, we not get another one. Oluremi Tinubu. Now our mama be this, we not get another one.
That the way with the children,
mama be that oh, they no get
Nadia-
another one. Nadia mama be that oh.
Be that oh.
Tinubu is
Dr.
not
Deji,
my
Dr.
role
Don't try
model.
singing. Don't try singing in your career. Don't try that. Make we go take break. When we
I
return,
should
we
not
begin.
try
Don't
saying.
try it. Make whiskey that the video look at you. Don't try it. Don't
You
try
have
it.
just ratified my claim that if you take me to engineering, I will fail.
You don't go
Say,
fit.
if you
You don't
take
go
me
fit.
to tailoring, I will fail. You know, if you take me to singing, I will fail. And that's why I used to tell some people, you know, that I've never done anything, you know, some people that cannot pass my PO 101, Introduction to Political Science. I know
I
some
made an
people
A
that
in it.
they cannot
I
pass
made an A. I made an A in PO 101.
They cannot pass PO 101. They will come
Why
and
you
be
skip
saying,
that side?
you know,
Why you
blue,
skip
blue,
that side?
bala,
You know
blue.
what here?
And
you know what here that side?
Say you pass PO 101, you score A.
Yes.
That okay. I believe you because you know looking at your skill. Then if you find like this, if you know pass PO 101, then your admission should be withdrawn.
Dr. Deji, could take a break.
But wait, precious. I believe you, but based on the history of Nigeria, where we have certificate controversy, Chicago, I must write your school. I want to see your transcript because you know Nigerians now, they are suffering the image of Tinubu. Nigerians are suffering it right now abroad as regards asylum and everything. So that's why leadership matters. And the worst part of it is the people that their father doesn't have money, their mother doesn't have money, they don't have what to eat. Look at that girl, Ugwamayi Ray, that youth copper. See the change she has achieved. Is she the only one receiving the 77,000 now?
They don't pay them now.
The worst part of it is that apologies if that's not the case. If you investigate now, since when Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed that money may have been approved. Some people may go and put it in fixed deposit. Some people may not decide to pay their arrears. That's how terrible we are in Nigeria. You know, we can be very terrible people.
Thank you. All right, guys, let's take a quick break. When we return, we'll begin to dissect all the conversations that I outlined initially. Welcome to Updated Precious. If this is your first time of joining us, you click on the subscription button. Follow us like a village people. When we'll come back, we will begin enter the matter than one by follow. Stay with us. Welcome back. Dr. Deji Omoshola still there with us inside the house. And Dr. Deji Omoshola, a doctor of political science. So we could begin enter the matter them as the hot one by one. So Dr. Deji, the first matter what for like people traits. Now the one way we say the House of Representatives yesterday don't pass is through second reading. A bill where they seek to remove immunity from the office of the president and the removal of the same for the office of the vice president, governors, and deputy governors. You say this song will fit work, and if it fit work, how you think say this song will use shaping our democracy? What would they like this? The bill was one of the 42 considered and passed through the second reading stage during a plenary session yesterday, presided over by the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kano. How you take CM if we remove immunity from all these people? You think it will strengthen our democracy better so that people then when they in charge could fit do what they're supposed to as they fit to them?
Well, thanks for the question. There are two ways.
Considering the high-handedness of our politicians, really.
I'm going somewhere. There are 2 or 3 ways to it. The first one is that does immunity deserves to be removed? If you look at it, you would say yes, because immunity has made some of the politicians to feel like, you know, like a god on earth. And some of them act with impunity in such a way that it is very difficult for you to bring them to book. Some of them act, you know, openly, glaringly with impunity, and you just can't do anything because there is an immunity clause that is attached to it. Now, the immunity itself, it's not a wrong thing because immunity is, given to people that are occupying sensitive office, that are determining destiny. People that are in, because if you are a leader, if you are a governor, if you are a president, you are in charge of shaping people's destiny so that those people will not be distracted, so that those people can stay focused, can be at the top of their game. And they know that when you are occupying such sensitive office, there will be people that will be throwing stones at you. There will be people that would be interested in distracting you, maybe for their own political gain. And that's where the immunity clause comes in, just so that the ward off distractions from you. So the immunity clause is to protect you so that you can focus on your job. But what we have is most of Nigerian politicians leverage on the immunity clause to even, put those who they should protect, to put them at risk. And that itself, it's an issue. Now, the second part is, I will not fail to point out the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Sincerely, I will support the removal of immunity clause, but not under the government of Bola Tinubu, in the sense that, you see, I think I said this when Tinubu newly came into power, I think on one of your programs, and I reviewed then that, you see, when a new government comes into power, you won't know the way that government wants to turn. So you may need some time to be able to examine that government, and you look at the features of that government. If the features of the Tinubu presidency is anything to go by, whereby you act without consultation, whereby you act based on your own personal ego, whereby you have the potential to want to create a one-party state, whereby you act with you have the potential to want to kind of like lord over the country, the people, and all that exists within it, whereby you have the potential to declare an unjust state of emergency when it is not so necessary for one. Looking at the features of the Tinubu presidency, removing the immunity clause will only give Tinubu more powers, because his immunity clause is still intact. While you remove that of the governors, that of the vice president, you would have just made Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an overlord on Nigeria, because that means that Tinubu can easily decide that, okay, Seyi Makinde is interested in being the president of Nigeria. Seyi Makinde is from the Southwest. Okay, he's a much younger guy. He can be a strategic opposition. Okay, go and find something and just, let him be resuming in court every day. That can happen. So that's why I support the removal of immunity clause. But looking at the features of this administration, I think it is a good idea whose time has not come yet, at least not in the life of this administration. You need some little things to be able to put in some checks and balances on the part of this administration. If you remove all those things that can clip this administration, that can, make the administration to apply some restraint, I can tell you that when the going gets tough and the tough needs to get go, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will exploit all these, all these well-meaning loopholes, if I can use that word. He would exploit them to his own benefit. So that's why I think the immunity clause is good, but not at this present administration. It would have been good if we bring that under Jonathan. It would have been good under Yaradua, but under this Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, removing that immunity clause will mainly serve the interest of one man, which is Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So right now, I don't really support the removal of the immunity clause. As good as the idea is, I don't support it.
Just because of the kind of president Tinubu is, that's all.
Of this administration.
All right. So it did other things and two we didn't talk about with the House of Rep also talk about. One, another one we approve, we don't approve for second reading. Now, the transformation of the 37 local council development areas inside Lagos State into full-fledged local government areas. We all know the history of those local council development areas, where Ibise Bola Ahmed Tinubu bring out when he be governor of Lagos State. And in fact, for in mind, he creates local government when he be governor of Lagos State. And Obasanjo fought him out and said, you don't have the power to just unilaterally create a local government like that. Say no go free happen. And then at the end come from turn them to LCDs. So now when you don't become president, apparently you don't push this executive bill now, make Ibise them truly transform them to local government areas. But what would it look like if Lagos State alone has 37 additional local government areas. Meanwhile, every other state for the federation, where they in need and where they deserving of more local government areas, no get up just because the president, that person will get interest from Lagos State. If they approve this, what's it mean for democracy? As a political
Well,
scientist.
I think it would be building something on nothing, in the sense that if you look at it, the local government areas, as at the time they were largely created unconstitutionally. The state will not just unilaterally say they want to create a local government and expect the federal government to fund it. And right now, if you look at the geography of Nigeria, there are some states that injustice is being done to them as regards the local government. Some states are small; they have many local governments. Some states are big; they have inadequate local government. So, in that regard, you may want to ask yourself that, why is it that when people are in power, and that's one of the things that the National Assembly needs to check. Why is it that when people are in power, they try to use that power to the benefit of their own? I think that itself, it's one of our failings as a nation, in the sense that when you are in power, you should seek national interest. It would have been so sweet. It would have been great, even if it was Buhari that approved that 37 local government, local council development area, that turned it into local government. It would have been more interesting. But for Bola Ahmed Tinubu to now use his influence, to now use his power over the National Assembly, one, it shows that the National Assembly is not independent. Two, it shows that the Tinubu himself has some unholy influence on the National Assembly, because the only reason why that will sail through is because Tinubu is the president. If Tinubu is not the president, people will debate against it, people will argue it. But for the sake of political correctness, because most of our politicians, they have their hand in the cookie jar, or they once had their hand in the cookie jar. If you investigate politicians in Nigeria, most of them have one problem or the other. It's either there's one contract scandal, corruption scandal, certificate scandal. They have one problem or the other. Look at Imasue now, the senator that is in charge of the Senate Ethics Committee. When they just
Privileges
conducted a brief
Committee
investigation on it,
Yes.
they realized that he was debarred in the New York. When you look
by
at
the way,
Tinubu,
Natasha has written for them to disbar him in Nigeria too, because say the truthful about the crime when he commit for his career for US. Go ahead,
when you look at it, when you have your hand in the cookie jar, or you have one or two issues with you, then you now decide that you want to go and tackle the president, whereby the language that we understand in Nigeria is not the language of if you are not for me, you can still be making sense. The language you understand in Nigeria is, if you are not for me, then you must be against me. So under such instance, the lawmakers will just keep quiet and will just let it sail through. But that itself is an abuse of power. Is the local council development area, is it a good thing? I will say yes, in the true sense of it, because it brings government closer to the people. And looking at the population of Lagos State, having 57 57 third tier of government, because I'm mixing it with local council, local government. So let me just use tier of government. Having 57 third tier of government is better than having 20 based on the population of Lagos State. But then, if you look at it well, Tinubu is not always right. So the idea that Tinubu is always right is an issue. So if this thing sail through, it's just because he is the president, and that itself leaves something. It should be something of concern, because today you have a president that you like, it's okay. Tomorrow, if you have a president that you don't like, or if you have a president tomorrow that doesn't, have much sense, like Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that can't reason, right to the level of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, that is not as exposed as Bola Ahmed Tinubu. If you have an irredentist, if you have, unfortunately, God forbid, if you have a Boko Haramist, or you have an Islamic fundamentalist as president, if you are creating this precedence whereby your wish can just easily sail through like that without rigorous debate, without thorough scrutiny, just because you are the president. Tomorrow, if you have, an Islamic fundamentalist, is that how Sharia will just pass through, and Nigeria will be Islamized, just like that. So when you are thinking that, oh, this thing is good, oh, it's a good thing, you need to begin to look at the long-term effect. That, okay, it may be good today, but what is the process to the emergence of this thing? Just because tomorrow, if we have, God forbid, a mumu president, and that president with his mumulity decide to have a lot of mumu ideas, what will now happen when we have a mumu president with a mumu ideas? What will now happen? Is it that that is how the mumu ideas will just sail through at the National Assembly? And that's why we need to be very careful with the kind of things that we do. Is the local council development area, is it a good thing? Of course, yes, it is a good thing. But then the process of emergence, and let us look at the aspect of justice. What happens to other states? And that's why I go back to precedents. If you are a president today and you decide to change 20 to 57 and you have your ways, okay, but don't forget that president will not always come from Lagos, right? Before Lagos can be able to produce another president, it may not happen to the next 30 years. That's the truth, because by the time power will rotate 8 years, north, south, other presidents will come from other states. So Bola Ahmed Tinubu is claiming to be from Lagos. Lagos may not produce a president for the next 40 years or 30 years. So other states that are producing president, so when they too come and decide to change, maybe they have 18 local governments in their state, and decide to change it to 60, and will you be crying then? Will you be crying foul then? So, and that's why it's not just about how it's just not about bringing forward a policy, but the process of that policy must be so transparent in such a way that the people that witnessed that policy, they'll know that that policy came out from evolved from a rational decision and a thorough scrutiny from the legislature.
All right. So, Dr. DJ, very, very quickly, things they happen. In fact, recently, a 25-year-old boy for inside Osun State commits suicide because of the hardship for inside the country. In talking on the complaint, people made it hear in tweets, a couple of tweets for inside Twitter, where he did complain about how things are difficult for him. But he said, he is my cousin, man is just a big brother, none of our laments can bring him. It talk a lot of things. Now, these now reactions where we see people they get for inside concerning in death. This young man now, 25-year-old, and then Joseph Aboduri, he don't commit suicide because of waiting hardship for inside the country. Rather, the Senate president, recently, footage of him during when they passed the 2025 appropriation bill, they go on. The footage of him show when they give president vote of confidence, say in 2 months, say what him do in reforms in the work, say the country they okay, where things they go on. And in the midst of this, Nigerians don't they look and say how they go use rescue themselves of this problem. So as we speak now, about 91 coalition groups don't enter inside INEC, say they won't register. And to try to truncate that, and perhaps what people think, say, like a plan to stop the 20 right now, because of that plan, people don't talk. Say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu did the fish on somebody will go replace Makmood Yakubu. But make you first of all watch that video where BC Akpabio they talk, say, oh, things don't better for Nigeria, things don't do okay for Nigeria, and see Nigerians they give them vote of confidence because in transformation agenda they work. Now you make they even vote for them because they know saying go work. Make you watch and then we'll go straight to that story concerning INEC and how the presidency is secretly shopping for a replacement for Makmood Yakubu.
The voting that was done for you was from the conscience of Nigerians who truly believe that a man who has spent all his life fighting in the opposition, struggling to right the wrongs and bring justice and fair play and improve the living standards of Nigerians, definitely is a man that can deliver. And so you started. Subsidy was gone and subsidy is gone. And today we are able to float the economy with income coming from the non-oil sector. And so your reforms are working. So when you came to the National Assembly with a very ambitious budget of 49.7 trillion, little did we know that working with your team will find a way to discover other sources of bringing revenue in. And today you are about to make history by signing the largest budget ever done in the history of Nigeria since independence. The voting that was done for you was from the conscience of Nigerians
So, Dr. Deji, say presidents reform the work. Why your neck dey like that? No vex. Say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu reforms the work and Nigerians they happy with that. Say the reforms in the yield results. Say their lives are changing and transforming. And then somebody, a man of just 25 years old, committed suicide because of hardship.
Okay. Two things. Number one, I lost my thought.
Sorry, apologies. Apologies.
No, okay. The first one is that the largest budget, as asserted by Akpabio, is it not shameful that you have the largest budget coinciding by side with, to use it, like that, the largest poverty? Is it not shameful that you have the largest budget standing side by side with the largest poverty? If you have the largest budget, there should be like an aggregate level of reduction in the poverty, that the people will feel that particular the effect of that budget. Budget is not for animals. In fact, animals self should feel from the budget, because budget should affect both what is living and what is not living in Nigeria. So if you are saying, oh, it is an ambitious budget, this, that, and you are congratulating somebody for signing the largest budget while there is poverty like never before, that is shameful. Then it is also shameful, and I think that's why the president is failing, in the sense that you say, oh, Mr. President, we, not knowing that we will discover other ways, of generating revenue. When Akpabio was saying that thing, if I had my way, I feel like tearing him a dirty slap. I'm sorry to say. I feel like tearing him a dirty, because I was looking at the way his mouth was dancing, in the sense that I just felt pity for the upcoming generations, in the sense that, when he said other means of generating revenue, then I was thinking, in my mind as a political scientist, that, okay, generating revenue, how? And it came to my mind that it is the same process to tax and to borrow. Who are you taxing? It is the ordinary Nigerian, directly or indirectly. If you tax the companies, the end consumer will end up paying for it. Companies would never joke with their profit margin. And once they set a profit margin, they will not, because they want to satisfy Nigerians, then they will now go away with the kind of like sacrifice their profits. No, they would not. It is the ordinary Nigerians that will pay for it. And if Nigerians are not paying for it, they will reduce the quality or the quantity of their service. This is elementary economy. So if you are not producing and you are running a government of tax and borrow, so how does that bring succumb to Nigerians? Number one, the first one, which is tax. Nigerians are already overtaxed already. If you look at the value of the naira, the level of income, and the quality of service being rendered by the government, and what the tax should ordinarily be meant to be used for, you see that Nigerians have already been overtaxed, in the sense that they've been taxing our grandparents, great-grandparents, our parents, taxing us. Yeah, we don't have good roads. We don't have constant electricity. We don't have pipe-borne water. Security of lives and properties cannot be guaranteed. If you go to the police station, it's not computerized. Some of them are even, languishing in anguish. If you go to the military, there's inadequate weapons. So if you go to the hospital, there's inadequate medical facility. So if you look at it across board, you will see that underdevelopment is staring you in the face. So what is the essence of that particular tax? Those taxes are lying down in some people's bank account, and that's what they are using to send all these young girls to Dubai, buy them Corolla, and spoil their destiny and all that. So if you look at it from the angle of tax, should Nigerians further be taxed when they are buying fuel at over 1,000 naira? No, they shouldn't further be taxed. So, and if you look at it in terms of borrowing, the more you borrow, the more the sorrow will come back to you. As you can only borrow if you are in your 70s and 80s. You can only be borrowing when you are heartless. You can only be borrowing when you are wicked. And apologies, for lack of a better word, you can only be borrowing when you don't have sense, when you are senseless. In the sense that you are borrowing when you know that when the consequence of that borrowing comes, you will not be alive to witness the consequence. And that is why, if Nigeria is not producing, let us sign a law that the president should not be more than 40 years, so that when the consequence of that borrowing will come, we go there here together. Don't say you go borrow, don't say you go borrow people's destiny. You can't go die. You can't go die next tomorrow. Look at Buhari now. He has borrowed the destiny of the generation unborn. Tomorrow now, if Buhari die now, the children that were not born when Buhari was borrowing the money will not be the one to be paying for it. So one of the things that is ruining Nigeria is the injustice. And it's not like we don't have sense. Look at how many PhDs Nigeria have. Look at how many professors. Look at how many engineers, how many mass communicators. Look at how many doctors, brilliant people that Nigeria has. And at the end of the day, it should be something of concern to you if Nigeria has a lot of elite, a lot of educated people, and Nigeria is one of the most underdeveloped, one of the most insecure, one of the most corrupt. These are contradictory to the reality of the quality of Nigerians that are available. Somebody once saw me in the diaspora before, and we're having a discussion, a very intelligent discussion. And the person was listening to me, the person ordinarily doesn't like Nigerians. And after a while, after about 20 minutes, the person looked at me and said, I think I like you, but if you are like this, if you have this kind of brain, if you have this kind of reasoning, why is your country like that? If like say, man, I died that day.
Chai.
That was like a knockout for me. But why is your country like that? If your country have, people that are, why is your country like that? I couldn't give any answer because there was no answer that can give that could make sense. So
yes.
All over the world, you can see. So Akpabio, you see, one thing I see, Akpabio falls in the realm of Sheyi Tinubu. Since when Akpabio has been born, and you can imagine if Akpabio is a member of your family, and since when Akpabio has been born, since when he has been living his life, this is the best of his life that he has lived. So the worst of your own life as a Nigerian is the best of some people's life, and that's why they usually assert, and that's why they usually assert that every bad government, every terrible government, no matter how terrible
somebody,
the government, he has, now when that bad government, the more the government goes bad, now when that bad government enter, now some people prosper. Now, it may not be legitimate prosperity, but I can tell you for free that now when Tinubu enter power, now some people begin prosper. The only problem is that, as asserted by Benthams and Mills, Jeremy Benthams and J.S. Mills, they asserted that governance, politics exist to kind of like satisfy the interest of the greatest number of people. But the problem is that not that people are not being satisfied under the Tinubu regime. It's just that they have reversed the Bentham philosophy. They have reversed the Bentham and Mills proponent, their assertion and proposition. They have turned it upside down in such a way that it is only the few that their policies are, are prospering. So rather than for the greatest majority, it is now the lowest few that are now prospering. So for an Akpabio belongs to that tiny majority. That is, Akpabio has never had this good, in the sense that you are the Senate president of a government whereby the number one is a game boy. Now, the number one is a game master. You are a game boy. Bola Ahmed Tinubu knows how to play ball. He doesn't live a kind of like, holy life. He doesn't want to live the righteous life. It is Buhari that want to be saying, Mr. Integrity, fight corruption. Have you heard the Tinubu be saying corruption?
So you mean say nothing concerns Tinubu concerns fighting of corruption?
Tinubu is a game master. He knows how to play the game. You understand? He doesn't try to live the holier than thou life. You understand? He doesn't tell you he's an holy man. When Tinubu was campaigning, did he tell you he's an holy man? Did he tell you that, he will not live his life? And that is why, no matter the level of poverty, Buhari did not leave any money. Buhari did not leave any money. When Oga enter, as a Lagos boy, a game boy, he tear escalate. when he sees the aeroplane, the malfunction, if you like me, not die, he is not ready to die. Yeah, you understand, tear Airbus. They live in. So Tinubu has never told you that he's a righteous guy. He's a game guy. And he knows how to play the game. And Akpabio is not serving as number 3.
Let's enter inside this INEC. Okay.
He's not serving as number 3 under such a president. So he has never had this good in his life. Even when he was a governor, he never had this good. And if you look at the convoy of Akpabio, one of these social, I think the Jade or do something like that. I saw a comment of his on social media some months ago that he was in Lagos and he saw the convoy of Akpabio, and he was wondering that this convoy is sponsored with taxpayers' money. That how can somebody have this kind of convoy? That even if Jesus Christ was to come to earth today and is to use a convoy, he's not sure that Jesus Christ will use that kind of convoy. So Akpabio has never had this good. What do you expect Akpabio to say? Of course, he will say, oh, the president is the best. And Akpabio is nursing a long-term senatorial presidency ambition. In the mind of Akpabio, if you are with Akpabio, if you're a member of his family, they will tell you that Akpabio, his mission is to be the Senate president of Nigeria till 2031. The evidence are obvious. But for want of time, I'll be able to go into it. If you look at the politics, the way he plays his politics, you will know that he wants to be the Senate president in 2031. And for such a person that wants to be the Senate president in 2031, knowing fully well that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he likes 100% loyalty. When the deputies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu were trying to be disloyal or were not 100% loyal to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's interest, what did he do? Or maybe he was just suspecting them. He facilitated their removal as deputy governor. So you now want to appear before such a man, and you won't praise him, and you won't whitewash him, and you won't make him feel he's the best thing that has ever happened to Nigeria. What do you expect from a Gospel Akpabio? But the truth is, people are suffering.
All right.
And
so,
why you come back, okay. The boy that committed suicide, you see, it is painful. It is sad that suicide is now gaining momentum in Nigeria. You see, like play. When we were young, right, there are some things that are sacrilege. You can't just hear that, oh, somebody just got pregnant without marriage. You'll be like, no, it is a community shame at that point in time. And I was speaking when I just finished my BSc. I think I was doing my NYSC then. 190-something year old, I think she was 93 then. She was my friend. I tried to associate with the elderly so that I can tap their wisdom. Since the wisdom in their head, we can't find it in any library. That's the truth. So I like elderly people as friends, and that's why I've declared your mother my friend. So now you will see that. So you see that the woman at that point in time, she told me that in the olden days, it is so bad that if you are dating somebody here, I'm looking for what to use. If you are dating somebody here, and you want to do something here, you have to go and turn. If it will take you like 2 minutes walk to get to that place, but you will pass in front of the house of that person that they want to marry you to, you will not. You have to go and turn. Even if it
to show that you don't have anything to do with that person, to show that you're a good child.
I'm telling you,
Dr. Deji,
you can see that. Sorry, man, just a moment. Some policies, some lifestyles, some values are eroding. In the olden days, it is only people that are under spell. It is only people that they have cast spell on that you hear that they go and hang themselves as a result of a spell that has been cast on them by the oracle or the chief priest or something, haven't committed a sacrilege. But now, you see people committing suicide as a result of economic hardship. Now, so, killing, they start small. Now, when people hear that, oh, they bomb a place in Sokoto, they bomb. How many people died? I beg, give me more. People move on so fast. And if we are not careful, if the level of hardship, if it continues like that, whereby people wake up in the morning, they don't even know how to survive. They don't even have a destiny. They will just want to survive for that day. They don't even care about destiny. Just to survive for that day. They don't have no means. They look left, look right, look front, look back. There's no means to survive. Why won't they take the tough decision? And if care is not taken, if the economy, continues like this, you will see that more and more people will be taking that option. And before you know it, suicide will now be a thing of social phenomenon, just as kidnapping is now, is now normal in our society. Just like armed robbery is now normal in our society. Just as different shades of prostitution is now getting normal in our society. Let me use the floor to you.
So Dr. Deji, what is the implication of people like the Senate president telling the president that he's doing well when people are dying of hunger and hardship as a result of the president's policies? Not because of that. It can't be like saying they tell the president the truth.
Sorry, ma. The implication is NYC. Now you're suffering continue. Now never start. See, like play.
Doctor, did you enter inside this INEC matter before our time finish?
Tinubu have spent 1 year and a half. Look at the level of hardship. Imagine if it is now an 8-year journey. Just imagine if it is an 8-year journey, and this is a man that his words are law. So you can imagine, the level of hardship that will fall on the Nigerian people, and that is why I just pity Nigeria. And I even, there are some Nigerians that I don't pity anyway, because some people, they don't have what to eat. For instance, there are some mothers that they don't know what to give their children. They don't have connection to give their children a job. It is out of the 33,000 alawi that their children will still send something to them. No, mommy, take this 5,000, manage it. God will provide. There are some families like that. And a copper came out to criticize the president. And some of those mothers, as useless as some of them can be, will still come out and criticize that particular lady. So for those kind of people, I don't feel sorry for them. I don't pity them at all. But the truth is that if nobody is speaking up, no change will be achieved. If that girl has kept quiet, maybe till now they won't be paying them that 77,000. Great girl, anyway.
All right. So Dr. Deji, let's move to this issue about INEC, because it is very important we could talk about them, because on the future of Nigeria, say a lot of groups when they come together now to struggle or wrestle power with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We hear say over 91 coalitions don't come together now, face INEC to register to make sure they wrestle power with them, because people when they try to come to SDP Wahala Day, Labour Party Wahala Day, PDP Wahala Day, so they want to form a formidable coalition so that they can wrestle power with him. However, we hear that according to this exclusive by Vanguard, they say they can authoritatively confirm that there is a plot to compromise the 2027 general election through the instrumentality of appointing a yes man as a replacement for Professor Makmood Yakubu. Was Professor Makmood Yakubu a non-yes man? That's a question for another day. And then will be the national chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Now, Yakubu's term is supposed to end November of this year, when he will have served 2 terms. Now, what Vanguard can confirm is that at press time, Vanguard investigations revealed that President Tinubu Ahmed is yet to be fully boarded on the plot's platform. However, forces pulling the strings for him from outside Aso Rock presidential villa are known friends of the president. That's people where they help and pull the strings, and people will be real friends them well. And they are also working part. They are also working. Some of them are also working with powerful Aso Rock insiders. Now, I hear say the arrowhead of this move is a former South governor and a member of the class of 1999. Remember, say a particular member of class of 1999, will be former South governor pay me visit recently, where they get a corruption case, where get to do with, oh yeah, James Ibori, of course. They visit him recently, where the team make way news and all that. I guess that's the issue. Now, they said that this comes at a time credibility of the election management body is suffering a massive discount due to the 2023 general elections and the role INEC played, and the off-season elections too so far, and the role where they don't also play. So one option being pursued for the plot to succeed is the nomination and confirmation of a malleable individual as Yakubu's successor. I beg you, help us explain what that malleable mean, Listen, I be the grammarian. A number of names, according to Vanguard, they say they don't keep those names and withhold them, are already being forwarded for possible consideration. Unfortunately, the individuals positioned by the plotters had served as national commissioners of the commission and resident electoral commissioners, Rex, who did not dress themselves in shining armor during their tenure. So now waiting make those people, then when they don't bring out their names, now they feel no consider them. In fact, the seemingly plausible consideration for their choice is the extent of their malleability, which would mean an erosion of INEC's credibility in conducting free, fair, and credible elections. Now, Nigerians recall with nostalgia how the 2003 and 2007 general elections went, culminating in the public admission by beneficiary of the 2007 sham presidential election, late President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, when he basically even talks, saying, no, say the election will bring them to power, they flawed, do well. Now, According to Waiting Vanguard, they talk on how did they flout the constitutional provision. They say, under a democracy with a written constitution, unlike the British parliamentary system, where the constitution is unwritten, the power exercisable by any elected appointed state official, like the president, must derive from the constitution. Otherwise, it is null and void. Now, that is why Section 1 of the 1999 Constitution, as amended, declares unambiguously, that is, in no hider, that the Constitution is supreme and its provision shall have binding force on all authorities and presses, including the president, throughout the entire state of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, is INEC is established under Section 153 of the Constitution? Are they going to provide all? In fact, according to the blunder with the note here, make I just rush them. On Tuesday, June 30, 2015, something very serious or curious, but strongly indecipherable happened when President Muhammadu Buhari, who rode on the back of the vigor and determination of Nigerians to engage change, threw INEC into a cesspit of needless controversy by not appointing a substantive national chairman for INEC until the tenure of the largely reformative Professor Atahiru Jega ended. Acting in line with with status and other seniority, Jega had handed over to Ambassador Dr. Ahmed Wali, remember, to head and supervise the activities of the commission until substantive chairman is appointed in consultation with the Council of State, as stated by the Constitution. Now, however, within 24 hours, Buhari, who had just been sworn in barely 36 hours earlier, overruled Jega and appointed Familial, that is somebody where they could have been very familiar to them, Nefla and Mrs. Amina Bala Zakari as acting head of chairman, INEC. The head of the civil service of the Federation at the time, Barrister Danladi Kifasi, who conveyed the appointment in a letter, said the appointment was with effect from 30th of June 2015 until the appointment of a substantive chairman. At the time, both Wali and Zakari were national commissioners in INEC. But in terms of seniority, Wali trumped Zakari. So why carry person where BC Junior come put as chairman? Interestingly, Buhari, who had been declared winner of the presidential election in 2015 and who ought to have been briefed by the transition team on appointment he needed to make, immediately he assumed office. Either had no clue what he was to do or what was happening in INEC, or perhaps out of omission do the wrong thing. Now, the president will also follow that step. And people, they worried, say, could this not be a way, a style, and a manner to truncate the already 2027 election when Nigerians feel like, say, they need them now or never because things hard. People don't, they commit suicide. People, they die. One lady jumped down Third Mainland Bridge just a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. This one now don't commit suicide because of waiting, hardship. Now, is it proper if the president does not follow the procedure or the constitution in appointing a new INEC chairman? It go dey proper if you know drum. And should we not think that this is a time that the National Assembly should conduct, some sort of change for inside our constitution to ensure, say, they command the power of appointing INEC chairman from the president, so that area, the INEC go really, they truly independent, because Nigeria has never needed that like they do right now. So what do you think? Because people don't say president don't already shop names, they don't really give them. It's just that people, the way they call their names, and people will get one kind small dirty come out because of the way they don't conduct themselves in the past. What do you think, say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu go do? Understanding, say you know your guy where.
Well, for me, I would be surprised if Bola Ahmed Tinubu decide to appoint somebody that is trustworthy, that is impartial, that is dedicated and loyal to Nigerians and the Nigerian Constitution and the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the INEC chairman, whoever he is, holds the key, because there are two rules. We'll be following the Constitution and the Constitution, the Electoral Act, and INEC guidelines. So if Bola Ahmed Tinubu decide to appoint somebody that he does not have control over, the person is holding his key to being the president of Nigeria from 2027 to 2031. So if you think that Bola Ahmed Tinubu would appoint such a person that will not be able to dance to his tunes, then we might be deceiving ourselves. And in this era of go to court, what do you expect a Bola Ahmed Tinubu to do? You know, we need somebody that even if everything, you know, you don't turn, everything don't dabaru, just declare me. Let's go and meet in court. By the time we meet in court, I would have been sworn in as president, and I'll be able to have enough time to kind of like maneuver my way, to muscle my way. So either which
so we'll
way,
go back
declare
through
me.
this issue again, all over
What
and
is
over
the
again.
process of electronic transmission of result? What is the process of process of voting? Is it electronic, or is it manual, or is it electronic and manual? These are crucial decisions that we make or mar how Bola Ahmed Tinubu will emerge, and the kind of margin that he will use to be declared as the winner. So if you look at it well, you don't expect Bola Ahmed Tinubu, somebody that is power cautious, somebody that has been in charge of Lagos since 1999 and is still holding Lagos by the jugular till date, despite the cosmopolitan nature. The most cosmopolitan state in Nigeria is Lagos State. He has held Lagos by the jugular. You now expect such a man to be the president of Nigeria, and you will expect that he won't hold he won't hold Nigeria, you know, by the jugular or to ransom for at least his 80 years. And if you guys are not smart enough, he will turn Nigeria to Lagos, you know, and still hold it by the jugular even after his reign as president. So there are some things that we shouldn't over expect. We shouldn't kind of like overrate Bola Ahmed Tinubu. For you to think that election will just come and go and you will put in a man. No. Even when Buhari was to conduct election, was it Buhari or this election of Tinubu? You know, at some point there were some controversies flying all over the place that that they held a secret meeting with INEC Chairman allegedly. You know, it leaked in the news then that they were meeting the INEC Chairman at midnight. I don't know whether it's Buhari election or Tinubu election, but I know I've read something like that in the media space before. So I think that the political class, particularly those of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will appoint someone that can be loyal to them. Even look at ordinary investigation in the Senate. Akpabio is putting somebody that is loyal to him, and they are not hiding it that they want to do the will and bidding of Akpabio. You know, so look at it both in terms of finance, in terms of security. Tinubu is not hiding it. He has kept Egbetokun there, and he will remain there till 2027 because it is Egbetokun that he trusts as his loyal boy that can deliver for him. And you can't undermine the role of the police in electioneering in Nigeria. So it will be like a sum of the whole. You know, fractions of loyalty in INEC, loyalty in the military, loyalty in the police. Tinubu knows that this is the thing that can give him his win. And he knows that at the end of the day, if there are any infractions, Nigeria will only make noise and keep quiet. Otherwise, they will go to court. And when you go to court, he has all the financial resources, he has all the networks, he has all the capacity at his disposal to make sure that he gets a favorable judgment. So for me, the 2027 election, is not I'm not having much expectation from it. You know, I don't think there's anything strongly that can remove Bola Ahmed Tinubu except God kills him. If God kills him, then that is the end. But for you to think that maybe there's one coalition, see, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for one thing, and that's why I said earlier that he has never proven to be a nice guy. He has never proven to be a good guy. He's not always, he's not always after morality or what people say or something. No, he wants to own Lagos. He wants to hold Lagos. He's holding Lagos. He wants to be president, and he believes that power is not served like you either snatch it, grab it, run away with it. He's trying to put his foothold on the Niger Delta. Rivers State is a very oily state, and when the time comes, he took his decision, and he will call an Akpabio, make this thing happen, and that is, it. So Tinubu, in the history of Nigeria's presidency, I've never proven that he is somebody of moral, or he's one saint, or he's one nice guy. No, he has never proven it. So in that regard, I don't have much hope in that particular election, except if Nigeria can move from 0 to 100 in terms of political activism, political participation, ruggedity and doggedity to be able to say we want a change, and that change we must get, and that will be determined by the level at which Tinubu can kind of like unleash the hardship. And if you look at it, how many people have the guts, in the sense that when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not the incumbent president, you can see the role that talk played in election, and in election that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is interested in. So now that he is the president, and I will take you back to Osun State during the election between Adeleke and Oyetola, the first election that entered a rerun. Imagine that they were giving signs, and if they don't see you with that sign, that means that you are not of the APC fold, and talks, them Soluomo boys will beat you blue black, and they won't allow you to vote. That is not a presidential election. That is not a Tinubu's election. Tinubu is just the leader of the party at that time. Now imagine a Tinubu election, a presidential election. And if you look at it, let us look at something. Will Tinubu, and I'm speaking as a political scientist now, will Tinubu be committed to a free and fair election? I don't see that signs, because in terms of electoral reforms, Tinubu has not shown any commitment to electoral reforms, and he's not hiding it. When Yar'Adua came in, he was committed to electoral reform. Goodluck Jonathan signed the electoral reform that eventually removed him from office. But Tinubu has not been speaking about electoral reform. All this electronic transmission of vote, IRF, BVAS, he has not been making any comment about it. So he has not shown that he's a nice guy, and he doesn't want to prove to you that he's a nice guy, and he's not bothered whether you feel he's a nice guy or not. The most important thing is that he wants something. How will he achieve it? What is the probability of him, kind of like actualizing his goals? And he goes for it. That's who Bola Ahmed Tinubu that we all know is. So for that kind of person, I don't have much hope in the election, because in terms of electoral reform, for we to have a very credible election, we need some electoral reform. And if you look at the process of amending the constitution to make electronic transmission of it mandatory, not in the electoral act, but in the constitution itself, it will take time, because the House will sit on it, first reading, second reading, public hearing, third reading, the presidential assent, and before that, the State House of Assembly, they have to get 2/3 of the State House of Assembly in Nigeria. They have to debate on it and send their report to the National Assembly that, oh, okay, we say hey or we say nay and all that. That is not happening. And you think that there will be free and fair election, the utmost determinant or who will be the number one in INEC rests on Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and he will not appoint somebody that will not be loyal to him. And you think there will be a free and fair election? Bola Ahmed Tinubu was not the president. IRF didn't work. Electronic transmission didn't work. Now that he's the president, have you noticed that anything concerning free and fair election, electoral reforms and everything, there have not been much comment about it. Everybody have been quiet. Everybody have been, as if we have the best electoral reform or the best electoral system in Nigeria. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, like I said, has not proven to be a nice guy, because if you look at it, during Jonathan's time, they just, gang up themselves. And I started then as a political scientist that if this coalition that bettered the APC, if it sails through and they were able to register APC at that point in time, that Jonathan may eventually lose the election. And lo and behold, APC was registered and Jonathan lost that particular election. So if you look at it from that particular angle, Tinubu that established a coalition that led to the sack of Goodluck Jonathan, and he brought in Buhari, and he himself became a beneficiary of it by becoming a president afterward. You expect that Tinubu will allow you to have an easy formation of a coalition under his government? It is not possible. Even for the political parties to have peace, just ordinary peace, even if it's peace in the graveyard, none of the parties have had peace since when Bola Ahmed Tinubu became the president. And if you look at it further, the policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not shown that he have given so much recourse to the people, in the sense that if you truly know that it is the vote of the people, it is the people that will bring you in power, you'll be a bit careful how you kind of like bring out your policies. I heard that, that in Nigeria now, there's this extra POS charges that if people send money to each other, they will deduct money from the person that sent it, they will deduct money from the person that receives it, and you want to contest for second time. You have removed the subsidy on petrol. The price of petrol have gone by almost, how many percent? From less than 200 naira to about 900 or thereabout. Now,
it's going back to 1,000 naira now, because they say landing price don't increase.
electricity is expensive, the price of food is expensive at your first term, and you are seeking a second term, and it is these same people that you expect that we vote for. So if you look at it on all strata, I've given you like maybe 6-7 instances now that even looking at the performance of the government, you wouldn't expect Tinubu to conduct a free and fair election, looking at his performance. Because if it is the vote of the people that will determine whether he wins or not, largely, definitely he would perform like this. You understand? So even judging by the performance, because if I'm giving this topic as a political scientist to write a paper on it, these are some of the things that I will be listing one after the other and summarily make an assertion that do not expect a free and fair election in 2027, except if Nigerians are, have decided to go mad, except if Nigeria want to move from being posh to being crazy, except if Nigeria want to move from being righteous to behaving like people as if, the spirit in the madman of Gadara in the Bible, they need to behave as if it is that spirit that was cast out, as if it is inside them that their spirit enter, that they are able to behave like a mad person. They are able to match irrationality with irrationality, madness for madness, grace for grace. That is when you can say that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will leave office. I have asserted as a political scientist, and I'm further asserting that Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027 will give you a good run for your money. He will give you a good fight for fight, battle for battle, power for power. In fact, it doesn't mean Bola Ahmed Tinubu doesn't care if you even lose Lagos. It's not of concern to him. But that president of Nigeria, and he's alive, he can walk, he can speak. You expect that you will snatch it from him easily. You are just deceiving yourself. If you trace the trajectory of Nigeria, and that is why when I learned that,
Dr. Deja, we're going to continue like this.
When I learned, you never know anything. When I learned that the House of Representatives are thinking of conducting the election in one day, I sat down and I was trying to kind of do some permutations in my head, and I'm like, okay, who is the president? Bola Ahmed Tinubu conduct election in one day. Will Bola Ahmed Tinubu approve this bill? At the end of the day, the answer is more of maybe not than maybe, because if conducting all the election in a single day, if it had existed in Nigeria before now, Bola Ahmed Tinubu would have lost Lagos State to Gbadebo Rival, and he's aware of that. Although the policy is good, it will save money, it will save time, this, that, this, but then the man at the helm of affairs, will he assent to such a bill? I don't think so, because if such a law had been in place by now, it is that Rival guy that will be the governor of Lagos State by now, because the way Tinubu lost the presidential election, that particular day, Sanwo-Olu would have lost that election flat. And they are aware of this. And the bandwagon effect that comes with election favors the ruling party. It favors the APC in the sense that once the presidential election has been won, the bandwagon effect, whereby states will be captured, people will now be forming alliances, people will now be forming loyalty. The president-elect will now be giving command, will now be calling political stakeholders in state that don't worry, the camp, work for this person. Even if you lose, I will be the president. There's a lot, that you can gain from it. There's a lot that I can compensate you with. So that bandwagon effect will come into place. And it favors which party now? The ruling party. Bandwagon effect usually favors the ruling party. So you don't expect that the APC as a party or Bola Ahmed Tinubu would ratify, whatever the decision the National Assembly takes, especially as regards conducting the election in one day. Summarily, I don't think that we will have a free and fair election in 2027. If it comes, fine. But for me to place high hopes or high expectation and end up being disappointed, no, I refuse to place high hopes on the Tinubu government and its capacity and willingness to conduct a free and fair election in 2027.
All right, so Dr. Deji, the Constitution states that constitutionally, from the way you can appoint an INEC chairman is established under Section 153 of the Constitution. That the president is supposed to submit such a name to the to chairmen and members of the chairman and the names of the chairman and members of the INEC should be something that must mandatorily pass through the consultation of the states, councils of state, and then they will make the appointment in terms of both the person that they find that is most fit for the job, in terms of somebody who has the kind of impeccable character and unquestionable character that is needed. So see President Bola Tinubu going through all of this. So maybe you could just throw something for the Council of States, then may they choose anybody, may them approve anybody when you want at any time, and that will just fly.
There are people of impeccable character, but if Bola Tinubu sees such people, Bola Tinubu will not appoint them. That is the truth. Bola Tinubu can appoint people of impeccable character to be the vice chancellor of a university, to be director of a polytechnic. But somebody of impeccable character to be the chairman of INEC, no. Impeccable character doesn't win election. Because when the going gets tough, at the heat of the election, they need somebody that can compromise. Look at what happened in the Edo election. Wike's cousin. Look at what happened there. So that when the
vis-a-vis what happened in Abia State election with Alex Oti.
So when things
so
are
that kind
tough,
of person they cannot appoint.
Yes, when things are very tough, they need somebody that can, give them some one or two little tiny compromise to kind of like aid their win. They know. The truth is, they know, they are aware. In terms of performance, they have not performed. But politics is a very terrible game, in the sense that people will know that what you are putting on is orange. They'll be telling you, oh, Precious, I love your white shirt. That's how politics is. Politics is not a fair game. I'm telling you, politics is never a fair game. So you won't expect that Bola Tinubu will appoint somebody of impeccable character, even with profound respect to him. The people that is installing in strategic positions, some of them are they of impeccable character. With profound respect to the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, look at Obasa. I didn't know that guy doesn't have much intelligence like that. He has been Speaker for so many years. I've not had a close assessment of him until all these speakership taught you. The way he speaks, the way he conducts himself, the way he composes himself. You imagine that. So this, as Lagos State, they reach. So this is the number 3 of Lagos State. His conduct, even his spoken English. You look at it, that is either here nor there. And so far as he can meet the interest of Bola Tinubu at checkmating whoever the governor is, so be it. It's a go. So expect such at the level of INEC, and that's the truth. Except if that person, now knows how to balance things. It's not like Godswill Akpabio. If that person is like Godswill Akpabio and he doesn't know how to balance things, the matter go cast quick, the matter go cast quick. But if he knows how to balance things, at least he will still be able to deceive Nigerians and just let the election sail through.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Deji Moshola. We don't talk plenty things today, and I know say happy word they say they enough otherwise. So I appreciate you as you make our time to follow me, sit down to talk to Nigerians and educators. The thing where you get to do one thing where I pick for what thing you talk on how we go fit use beat this planned election rigging where they already planned for 2027 and make Nigerians ready to face the politicians aura for aura, might for might, toggery for toggery, attack for attack, ballot snatching for ballot snatching. Anyhow, what they want them, make Nigerians ready. If Nigerians are not that dogged and ready, that means they no go fit win.
I don't believe in the doggedness of Nigerians when it comes to election. And the same Nigerians, when election, politicians know how to release goodies during election time. When you see,
goodies will go last how many days?
By this time, 2026, in just a year time, they would have been releasing all the goodies. Have you forgotten when Sanwo-Olu was contesting? Last man was begging. Any tabashe go for it. Who did you offend that you are seeking forgiveness from? And Nigerians, they have this kind of like short memory, and they are not dogged enough. If the same Bola Tinubu begins to package rice and beans, granite, most people will line up and just vote for him, and they will say, oh, why should they collect it? And the easiest way to win is to weaponize poverty, just as the government is doing. Make life, hellish for people in such a way that if they see that. I was watching a video and an old woman was saying, Buhari's era was better. This Tinubu, man, things are very tense. So she can't remember when she ate rice. Rice is now luxury. In the midst of that poverty, all those old women, you know, that poverty has, you know, has become part of their skin color. We've found apologies to them. Package rice, package granite oil at 10,000 naira. Before you know it, they'll start voting for the same man that have put them. So there's a disorientation aspect, there's an education aspect. May God just help us. You know, I don't like to always bring God into political analysis, but you know, it is what it is.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Deji Omoshola. A fantastic and great conversation. Always interesting to watch you and listen to you talk, and, you know, to finger your mouth more, make you talk more about Nigeria matter. I appreciate you as you don't educate us so much, and I hope say we go home with the things and when you don't talk and continue to the fight and put in effort to strengthen, to know these things where you don't talk and learn from them. Not be just to know, make we not learn. To know them, make we learn from them. Because if we want a better society, a good society, like the Malaysias of this world, the Singapores of this world, the Chinas of this world, and all of those, we'll not go just get them a la carte. A good society is not giving a la carte. In fact, I have a particular guest that says that no politician does good just like that because they want to do good. They do good because the society or the people force them to do good. They tell them to do good. So no politician, they so nice. Because I'm a nice guy, I just want to do good. No. So now waiting, I don't learn that. So now we go begin.
You know, there are some that will just do good. No, there are some that have that vision and they kind of like go all out to kind of like achieve it. There are some politicians, I don't agree that there's no politician that doesn't want to do. No. There are some that, you know, they really want to do good and they will try and sell that idea. It now depends on whether the society will permit it. If Bola Ahmed Tinubu wants to do good, you know the right thing to do. Lee Kuan Yew of Singapore, if you read the story, you know, he wants to do good and he tried to kind of like lead by example. And this kind of Nigeria that we operate like a one-man show, if Bola Ahmed Tinubu really wants a change, a lot of things will change, you know, a whole lot of things. But unfortunately, you know, the man himself, you know, he has his own interests. The people around him, they have their own interests. And everybody is just deceiving the man. I pity the man. I really pity him because it's always painful when you have people that you believe you trust around you, or those people, you know, cannot tell you the truth. It's either you don't like the truth, they know you hate the truth, or they just know that telling you that truth will come with uncomfortable consequences for them. So they just tell you what you want to hear. And that's where the problem is. But it would have been better if the man can kind of like write his name in gold. But it's never too late. But as it is right now, if a free and fair election is conducted, free and fair, that, okay, you know, we unleash the host of heaven. God just, Angel Gabriel, Angel Ure, you know, Angel Precious, go to earth and go. Okay, Angel Precious is already here. You know, go and meet Angel Precious on earth and, you know, conduct the election. I can tell you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu will lose flat. We lose flat, hands down, you know. And the reasons for my assertion, you know, I can give you like 20 reasons, but that's for another day. But we lose flat. And some of these people, they know. And that is why the election, you know, they won't make it fair and fair. And maybe to just save lives, because I know people will die in that election. To save life, to save money, to save cost, maybe we should just submit the CV of Tinubu, CV of Atiku, CV of Peter Obi, everybody. Just submit them to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court should just look at it and just declare one person. At least to save us money, one way or the other. You know, it is just so sad what we have.
No need, because at the end of the day, we will still end for Supreme Court, so there is no need. Kai, Dr. Deji. All right, my people, if this is the first time of watching, try click on the subscription button there. Follow me like your village people. Click on the subscription button. Turn on the notification button.
If you have watched me, hey, so sorry, bro, give me a minute. If you have watched this video and you have enjoyed it, and you have not subscribed to this precious AETV, you are wicked. You are wicked. You know, don't be people that you are watching it free. Just try and support the woman. You know, subscribing doesn't bring her anything. It's just to strengthen the platform and so that our videos can reach more people. And some people don't know that subscription is free. So please just subscribe, you know, and if you want to do good, you know, Precious, you want to be seeing her beautiful face every day, every now and then. You want to follow her every now and then. You will be seeing all the pretty smiles and everything. Just turn on the notification button so that anytime she's coming on here, and Precious comes on here every day. So, you know, you have access to see her pretty face. So do what to subscribe and turn on your notification button.
Thank you.
Like the video.
Thank
show
you.
some love to Precious. She's doing an
Thank
She's
you.
doing an
Thank you, Dr. Deji. Thank you so immensely. I appreciate you big time. My name is Precious Inye, Dr. Deji Moshalana, Doctor of Political Science. I appreciate you, Dr. Deji. Yeah, I've been wanting to sign up for me, but no sign up. My people protect your mental health, and I know say I love when
you do. Protect your mental health. Now, Precious, they talk and now lines.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Deji. Do enjoy the rest of the day, and thank you so much for joining us. God bless you, Miss. Thank you. And yeah, thank you and goodbye. And to my people, thank you so much for joining us. Subscribe, click on the subscription button, like, comment. I like to see all your reactions. Not gonna just put them on that make a DC and there. I love when I see you next time. God bless you. Goodbye.